Welcome, Hoardlings, to another Game Hoarder production. I am proud to present to you Legends of Amberland, the Forgotten Crown. Check out this badass music. This is going to be a Patreon exclusive, which means it will be Patreon exclusive until its completion. Decided to do something new on this and name characters after our top contributors of our Patreon channel. Without further ado, let's introduce those Patreons. They will be joining alongside the warrior Luglug. And I'm going to show you the creation screen here, even though I've already created the party. But basically you can pick your race, your sub-race, your class. Each race has their own specialized race or classes that they can be. And then you can pick a name, randomize a name, pick your portrait. You can even import your own portraits, then you pick your skills. It's pretty simple. You go on to your next character. And the way this works is your center character and to their left and their right, those are going to be your frontline characters. So that's where you want to put your melee. Then your left two and rightmost two are going to be your rear rank. And that's where you're going to put your healers and mages and such. Nothing too advanced. So I've named the Patreon posse here. And here we are. We'll start with, of course, the mighty Luglug. He's a warrior human. Here's his attributes, statistics. We'll kind of go over the attributes here. Strength affects damage. Every 10 strength points, you get more encumbrance. Toughness is your hit points. And you have dexterity, which is your hit bonus, evade bonus. Knowledge is your arcane bonus. Additional effect, which depends on character talent, tactics, awareness, arcane mastery. You have your willpower, which is your magic points, reduces magical damage. And then we have pretty obvious things over here under statistics, damage, our hit chance, our evade chance, our armor. And then we have our resistances and our talents. Tactics gives us the knowledge and affects our critical hit chance. And it shows your position here. Frontline characters, again, like I explained, position 3, 4, and 5. Flanks in 1, 2, 6, 7. A little bit more safe than your frontline characters. And they take order from the center to the edges. So you can move your characters around the position that they're in for different tactics and strategies, possibly based on what you're fighting. We have our inventory screen here, which is pretty awesome. Starting off with some basic equipment. And we have our magic bag of carrying. There is no limit of items, there's just your encumbrance. And we're at 23 out of 29. So we got some heavy shit here, unfortunately. But encumbrance, I think, is just by stuff we're wearing. Everything that goes in our bag, I believe, doesn't weigh anything. I've never played this past killing a few goblins here in the beginning, so... Alright. Let's get on with our cast of Patreon members. Now, I am recording this on my older laptop, so the microphone is Unfortunately, I did not bring my Yeti with me. I am temporarily out of my house, living at Mom Stocks while my house gets some renovations done. But I'll be back Tuesday, so I'll be back in about 6 days. And we'll be hopefully converting this to the bigger computer. But anyways, the sound is probably going to be a little muffled, not that great right now. So I apologize. I will run and grab my Yeti mic tomorrow. So when I start recording, then it should be better. This is our other warrior. His name is going to be Palace. The user is Multiplex Palace. They're the only ones that did not get back to me on Patreon, so I went ahead and chose this as their default name. I think it fits. Palace the warrior. Comes with the same equipment that Luglug does. And I pretty much, for the beginning initial attributes, just toggled between strength and toughness on our melee guys here. Our other fighter we have is Krunk the Knight. This is Drain's character. Drain, who has been with my Patreon channel since the beginning, as many of you have that are on this. "13 strength, 9 toughness." Also has tactics. The difference between knights and warriors are knights can wear heavier armor. They got a bit better encumbrance. But I think warriors do more damage relatively. You can see the hit is better on the knight. Knights might, I don't know. I did a little bit of research on the classes, and a lot of people were saying knights were the way to go. But I wanted to mix it up. I didn't want to min-max the party. And Luglug would never agree to be a knight in shining armor. I thought this was a perfect fit for him portrait-wise. So anyways, we have Krunk, our knight. Moving on to our casters. We have Rhea, our healer. This is for Kaguana. She is actually my first Patreon subscriber ever back in 2017. And she has done a couple LPs with us. She did, I believe, some of the early Borderlands stuff. So she is our cleric, our healer. We poured all her starting attributes into knowledge and willpower. Then we have Futures. This is Futures, our Patreon that comments on pretty much almost all my videos. He's been around for quite a long time as well. He is our Battlesmith, who is basically a dwarven fighter that also has some casting abilities. Let's go over magic too. Let's check that out. He comes with Spark and Sharpness, which adds 10% damage to the party bonuses. Affects the whole party. All those buff spells in this game expire at midnight, so you want to cast them early in the day to get the full use out of them. Then he also has a little fire damage spell. Rhea, of course, has heal, mass heal, cure poison, and regeneration. So starts off with some nice spells. And you can see the level of mastery that we get based on our arcane. So it's good to pump that early knowledge in there to get that arcane bonus for these spells. We would need 37 arcane to get this to mastery level 2. Moving on, we have our bard, Takanaka. This is Cat Blaster's character. He is also focusing, he's kind of a balanced character, but focusing on knowledge. And has Inspire Courage, Song of Courage, removes Afraid status, Inspiration gives +5 strength, and also can heal. So he's a bit of a healer as well. Comes with leather armor and a short sword. Rhea has a robe and an enchanted dagger. Our Battlesmith has scale mail and a dwarven axe. You can see our knight comes with helmet, full plate armor, a dwarven axe, and a large shield. So they equip the hell out of the knight compared to the warrior. But look at the encumbrance. You can carry a lot of the heavier armor. I was kind of going back and forth between knight, having a second knight. But whatever. A lot of people were saying the warriors were the way to go too. We're playing on normal, so should be able to beat the game with any party combination. Last but not least, we have Raistlin. Many of you may be familiar with that name from the Kryn/Dragonlance novels. Raistlin was a wizard. He was a great wizard in those books. Eventually, I think. It's been a while since I read them, but this is Mad Puppet's character. And he is our resident wizard. This is our only elf in the party as well. Elves get this is a gray elf. Gets extra dex, willpower, and knowledge. Starts with a wizard hat, enchanted robe, and an oak magic staff, and an elven brooch. Gives an immunity to poison. Piece of finest elven jewelry, made of rare green amber, which has the property of subduing any poison. So if we look on the character sheet here, our elf is immune to poison and mesmerize. Our dwarf, because this is a frost dwarf that I made, has cold resistance. This dwarf, Crank's dwarf, is a mountain dwarf, so he came with strength and toughness. Again, you have sub-races of any race that you pick. That kind of adds to the spice. I made Pallas a human Highlander, Luglug is a human Highlander, Rhea is a human nomad, that gives her toughness and willpower instead. And then Takanaka is a human nomad as well. And Raistlin starts with Elven Song because he's an elf. It's a heal all. It's not that strong, but it might help. Elven Touch, which removes poison. And then his wizard spells are Magic Arrow, Power Fist, Fireball, Cold Ball, and Magic Shield. You can see here in our mini map, everything is grayed out except the square that we are on. We can slowly reveal the map here, which we will be doing. This game is very similar to the old grid-based Might and Magics. We have a wait command. You can already see we have some goblins chilling out here. We have our map. We will eventually be able to summon a Griffin Rider, which will get us around easier. We have rest. We have info, which is giving us our questicles, completed quests, titles and awards, and information. Civilized area ruled by human kings. The current ruler is King Godric, who resides in the royal castle near the city of Thorncrest. This area is relatively safe since the royal knights took care of the biggest monsters. Still, smaller ones get through, not to mention bandits and other villains. There are 2 cities in the area, Timberburg in the north, which is a small town specializing in providing timber, who would have thunk, and Thorncrest, near the coastline, which acts as a local center of trade. The southern border of the territory is secured by Old Rock Castle. In addition, the domain of King Godric extends to a nearby small island with Watchdog Castle, protecting sea routes. This area also houses the Great Library, the biggest palace of knowledge dedicated to preserving old tomes. The Great Library is considered extraterritorial and as such protected by both the King and the Wizards' Council. We have our options. Alright, let's get busy. We already get goblins on top of us. So fighting, we can see our enemies in front of us, their hit points. We have our auto attack, which kind of just memorizes the last thing we did. And then we can, this is turn-based, so we can attack, wait, strike. It's a special ability, may only be used once, and then you can rest to replenish it. It's a guaranteed hit. You want to save that. And we want to start getting our fighters' decks up. Let's probably should have put a point or two into that when I started, but I did not. At first you can kind of just beat these guys up. Goblins are kind of the weaker enemies, of course, so not too worried about them. When you go into town, it just gives you this screen. You don't actually walk around the town. You have your Elven Healer, you have your Trainer, where you can see our next level. We need 88 more experience to get to level 2. And we can start putting more attribute points in with the Trainer. We have our shop, where we can buy all kinds of stuff. This costs gold. We have our magic shop, where we can buy magic things. We need crystals to buy that. You can see down here we have our crystals and our gold. Don't have any crystals, but I hear these cloaks of displacements are very good to get for your frontline fighters. Then we have the inn, where we can rest, replenish food, and we can store unneeded items. It's kind of our bank also. We can also talk to people.
Visit the great library to find a way to enter the enchanted forest. At least that's what my grandma kept telling me when I was young. I have no idea why I'd want to go to some enchanted forest. Do I look like a lumberjack? I could never understand my grandma.
This is bad. Many master craftsmen who were providing items for shops in the land were kidnapped by monsters or bandits. Now only the basic wares can be bought. Unless someone frees them, the economy will collapse. Unfortunately, we can't count on the Royal Knights. Not now, when there's a big ogre invasion going on.
I wanted to comfortably continue on my journey via the Griffin Riders transport service, but some ruffians have kidnapped the Griffin Riders guildmaster. Service is not available until they free him. This totally wrecks my travel plans.
So that we get our rumors from the inn. And where they keep track of food, I do not know. Let's see. We have our letter from the Royal Wizard also. Replenish food rations with 3 vegetables and 3 meat rations. Okay. Music's pretty awesome in this. Give me that never-ending story vibes. Alright, not sure where food is. Gotta figure that out, but I just spent 10 gold to replenish it. You can't shoot from far away like you could in Magic, in Might and Magic, where you could shoot arrows and get those range attacks in. I don't think you can do that here. Maybe I can? Let's try. Not officially in combat until they're in front of us. So that is something that's a little bit different. So we can wait. Alright, we have a little dungeon here already. And you can kind of map it out just like you would. See, when you wait, the little timer goes up down there, but what we can probably do is do a heal. Victory! You get your golden experience that you're earning up here. And we'll have our first official save. Goblin Cave. I think that's what it is. Like 3 of them can come through there. Four to 120 lightning damage. That's quite the spread. Magic arrows 10 to 30. Fireball damage is all. Cold ball damage is all. Let's stick with the low MP stuff here. There's a lot of these fuckers. All right, we've got golden warm gloves. Some cold resistance. Can put that accessory on. Mr. Luglug will go ahead and take those for now. Not sure if there's secret walls, like pressing stuff, I would assume. We'll find out. You can see the goblins aren't coming toward me. We don't got to get too heavy in with the strategy quite yet. Enchanted silver mail. Immunity to paralysis and petrification. Well, of course I want that on Luglug. Think she can still cast her spells in chainmail? Let's find out. Maxes are encumbrance cells, so we got to be careful about that. Looks like we're good. This doesn't look like a very big dungeon. That's a tiny little goblin cave. Okay, it's nighttime out here now. We cannot swim. And we cannot go through the mountains yet. However, we can go through the trees. Quick save is F5, a quick load F8. I don't know if there's going to be things on the empty spaces. Probably not. Got some... Whoa! A green snake. Oh, this green snake has a lot more hit points than the goblins. Need more arcane for that. Let's go ahead and help heal. We should probably back off after this. Yeah, that did a number on us. But it was good XP. We can get to level 2 now. And it looks like we get a free attribute point at level 3. Let's go ahead and do Dex. 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 Let's get that knowledge up on our casters, of course. Our Battlesmith is a bit of a mix. We want him to be able to do both attack and cast some of the spells, but I think he's a bit more of a fighter. Alright, we got everyone up to level 3 from kicking that snake's dick in. And leveling fills up mana and health, so it's kind of like a free rest there.
Beware of the swamps. The snakes are tougher than they look. Not to mention venomous. Also, don't make light of the troll guarding the bridge. You might want to rent a boat from the fishermen instead. That would be the safest route to the royal castle to the south.
So we do need to, our first quest is to visit the royal wizard. This isn't a super long RPG. The average playtime is, 15 to 20 hours, I think. Is he a boat out there? I don't think this has like the empty patches of land that you can step on and find treasures like you could in Might and Magic. But I don't know. I hope there is, because that made exploring every little square a lot more interesting. We do have another dungeon here. It's like more Goblin Cave to me. Heavy helmets of protection. You know Luggy's getting that. Lug's getting all, you guys get the hand-me-downs. You patrons, you get the hand-me-downs from the mighty Luglug. We might divvy it out, I don't know. Probably not. Gotta protect the main man at all costs. A silver small shield and an enchanted blade. That's all going to Lugster. Alright. Oh, wait a minute here. Immunity to paralysis. We should spread that love out. Because he's already immune to paralysis. So let's give him back a small shield. And we will give See, Crank's got a large shield. Let's give it a silver small shield to Palace. Palace is immune to paralysis. Luglug went from a longsword damage 100 to a enchanted blade damage 70. An arcane bonus of 10%. Not sure how that works. I believe dwarves are better with axes. Yeah. Whenever dwarves wield axe, they get an additional 10%. So we want to keep our two dwarves here equipped with axes at all times if possible. The chest is completely empty. Elven longsword. Well, we're going to give that to our human. Always hits goblins, ogres, and trolls. An elven blade. I'm digging this that they're giving us cool shit right away. Pretty good idea of the map there. See, with the chesticles, the levers. Looks like we're all set.
Want to buy my boat? It's literally the deal of a lifetime, because otherwise you will die by the hands of a troll upon trying to cross the bridge. Well, it's your life. Don't say you weren't warned.
There are parts of this game that were made to where you can't beat certain monsters. And you are supposed to suck it up and run away from certain monsters. It's like the snakes won't leave the swamp. See our starting area here. Looks like we can pan around, which is nice. We do have something hidden in here. Not sure how to get in there. Maybe eventually we can pass through mountains, kind of like how you got mountain climbing or mountaineering in Might and Magic. But you also couldn't go through the forest at first in Might and Magic, so. I have a feeling we're gonna need that boat. But we're gonna try to fight this ogre anyways, with this troll. I'm gonna fuck with another snake. I think he just poisoned. Yep, we got poisoned here. Let's use magic sharpness. We need to get Homeboy's arcane up for sure. So he can start using these other spells. I hope we get more spells than this as well. You can see our buffs here. Poison went away, which is cool. Let's try Power Fist. Did 101 damage. Well, not everyone has enough to go up to level 4. Just Luglug, Palace, Rhea, and Takanaka. But our Knight, Battlesmith, and Wizard require a bit more. You can see our elves gain XP slower, I believe, because of elves, but humans gain XP faster than any other race. So our 4 humans are always going to be a bit ahead of the curve on experience.
Welcome, travelers, to our small town. There's not much going on here. It's much safer here than in the south, with all those ogres. So if you ever get tired of adventures, I recommend you settle in our peaceful town.
Rest here. Probably need to. So we can do a full... when you rest, you can do quick or a full. Quick rest eats 1 food ration. 4 hours pass and you get 50% of maximum HP replenished, but no magic. Weaken and confused statuses are removed. A full rest, you eat a food ration, meat and fish. 8 hours pass, you get HP and MP. Well, we need that, so. Replenish food for 20 now. Why does it cost more? Maybe because we're higher level, it scales. The Elven Healer. We can start getting brews. We have Restoration, which removes all negative statuses. We can get rid of negative statuses except Petrified, and we can heal. So the Elven Healer is kind of like our church. Still don't have crystals, but we can go check out the shop. Buy a Cloak of Protection. The Girdle of Strength is pretty badass. I hear this is good to get. Could buy 2 more. Let's just buy 1 for now. For Luglug, of course. Hey, +5 strength, man. It's not bad. And get our boy up to 18. Would be great to get 1 for each of our characters, I'm supposing. Alright, let's go get beat up by a troll. Better save our MP there. Midnight's gone, so we gotta cast our spells again. Oh, we can do our Magic Inspiration and Song of Courage now. We definitely want to gamble with Power Fist. He hits everybody. So he's not as tough as we thought. 40 gold and 120 experience, and we have defeated the troll. Party definitely getting stronger.
Going to the great library in the valley. The librarians there are crazy, if you ask me. I've heard they keep a giant lizard in their basement. Some ignorant librarian got a young hatchling and wanted to keep it as a pet, but it grew and went on a rampage. They are now afraid to enter the basement, but they are too proud to ever mention it to anyone. Totally irresponsible. It's what you get for reading too many books instead of spending time outdoors, I tell you.
Alright, we have all kinds of stuff to explore here now.
The Great Library. You're entering the Great Library. It contains volumes of knowledge preserved by us, the bookkeepers. Be respectful to the books or else.
I don't want to fuck with that lizard yet. Could be our demise.
Previous heroes left markings on the books, not granting access to anyone who is not recommended by the Northern Sage or the Southern Sage. And no, I don't care if you know the king or all the wizards from the Wizards' Council. I'm not letting more barbarians into my library.
Oh, we gotta go to the Royal Castle. This is just the library. Let's go to the Royal Castle here. King Godric, the sovereign of the Western Territories, resides here. There we go.
Thank you for coming, my friend. I sent to you because I found a very disturbing thing while paging through the royal annals. There's mention of an old crown that belonged to the royal family for generations. Yet, strangely enough, no one's ever heard about it. No one. There is no written record of it, save for a single mention in the royal annals. It's plainly impossible. Upon further study, I discovered something even more disturbing. A powerful spell of forgetfulness, of unknown origins, has been cast, and caused everyone in the whole land to forget that the crown ever existed. Why would anyone go to such trouble to conceal the existence of some old crown? I need to investigate further. Go to Master Thalon in the Grand Library. He'll give you a book for me.
Please don't disrupt me. I'm inventing new dishes for the inevitably upcoming feast for when our king finally gets rid of the ogres. There'll be a lot of hungry nights, I tell you. Wait! I have an idea. Why don't you help me? Look like you travel a lot. Why don't you bring me 3 exotic delicacies from around the land? I'll be able to greatly improve the banquet. I will reward you.
Alright, so now we have obtained a letter to the Grand Librarian. Find the Forgotten Crown. Get a book from Master Thalon and collect 3 exotic delicacies.
I just arrived at King Godric's court. I don't see how things work here, but I will be the best courtier he's ever has. You'll see, you'll see.
Alright, everything's wide open here.
Papers all the time. Sometimes I wish I was an ordinary knight like in the old times.
Let's go talk to the king. Oh, the princess.
Oh, travelers from faraway lands, tell me how do they dress in other courts? Perhaps you've had a chance to meet some handsome unmarried prince. And is it true that Lord Amberton's sister has eloped with some mysterious knight? Oh, sorry for so many questions, but it's so rare to see new faces here.
The queen.
My husband is very busy with the ogre invasion. Maybe you could help him. He's too proud to ask himself, but he really needs help.
Welcome to my court, noble travelers. Okay, that's all I got to say. Fuck off.
Gorfonder. I like his name. And here we have Thorncrest.
Welcome to the capital city of the Western Territories. We are the most civilized kingdom around, and we even house the famous Great Library. Oh yes, don't believe the rumors the kingdom is going to fail due to some puny ogre invasion. It's all lies. The mighty forces of our King Godric will swiftly deal with that situation. Either way, our beloved king is residing in the castle nearby. You may want to ask for an audience.
Alright, after beating the troll, we can level our characters, our 3 non-humans. But I believe we need to get to level 5 before we'll get our freebie attribute. So Arcane at 27, Arcane at 52, 59, and 18. Wow, that gets up there. Got maxed Power Fist, which gives us that 4 to 120. Magic Arrow is getting stronger. That'll go up to 20 to 60. And I'm sure Fireball and Cold Ball will come into play as well. Kind of looks like the same items there. Mithril. I believe Mithril is good because it weighs a lot less. But I definitely want these Cloak of Displacements. To make our fighters a lot harder to hit.
Studying the greatest battles of our period. The battle in Gravelholm Valley is one of my favorites. All those races united together to fight the common enemy. Elves, dwarves, and humans combined their forces to defeat Raxtar, the evil sorcerer, and his forces. I'm researching the period of the Pact of Trees. It's a fascinating period in history just after the fourth era of war against the Dark Lord. All noble races, the humans, dwarves, and elves, signed a pact with the trees in order to fight the remaining forces of the Dark Lord. It's also when the Amber Throne was forged, the first human king after the war. Sadly, most treat this period as ancient history instead of the foundation of the political stability of our era.
Sounds a lot like Lord of the Rings.
You know the basic difference between a wizard and a sorcerer? It's subtle at a glance, but quite fundamental when you delve deeper. Wizards were born with natural magic power. Sure, they've had to study magic and everything, but they got it since birth. Sorcerers, on the other hand, got their powers from some sort of evil force or by studying forbidden tomes. This is not to say that wizards are all good, but all sorcerers definitely end up serving evil, even in their original intentions were just noble.
Interesting. So Goldfounder discovered an old spell that messes with everyone's memory regarding some old crown. But what is the definition of everyone, I wonder? You know, these spells, no matter how powerful, have weak spots. They are unbreakable when it comes to the letter of the spell, but they can't cover everything, and they're usually very specific about what they alter. The more powerful the spell, the less flexible it tends to be here. Here, take this book and give it to the Royal Wizard. It should get you a few leads.
Alright. Got myself wrapped up in a fetchy quest.
Excellent. With the book from Master Thalon, I can continue. I have an idea. While the spell is too powerful to break entirely, it could be weakened. I could do so if I got hold of 3 ancient orbs. Unfortunately, they were lost ages ago. I advise you to go to Master Thalon again. He might be able to help.
You serious?
I set you to find 3 ancient orbs now, not an easy task. The green orb must be somewhere in the enchanted forest. The dwarves might know something about the red orb. As for the blue orb, I have no fucking idea. You may want to ask the wizard from the Tower of Northern Winds. If he can't locate it for you, you're fucked!
And alrighty folks, we are all done with video 1 of the Legend of Amberland.
It's Amber's land.
Hope you've enjoyed it. I want to give a special thanks out to all of the Patreons that are still with me, all of the new Patreons as well. Hopefully you enjoy this exclusive video, and I think we're going to continue to do things like this where we do random drawings so that people can pick names for RPGs and different games like that. So yeah, I figured this would be a good way to get the ball rolling. Thanks again for watching, and see you soon.